interesting early metagame calls from these two very talented players.
We already have seen some, like a Pokemon like Magnezone, such a unique and good typing. Either being able to trap Celesteela or dish out huge amount of damage with analytics. I do not want to say too much, but Flash Cannon into a Gyarados doing good amount of damage implies something maybe. And I'm really curious if Markus came up with a nice tech again as well. As we have seen it, Volt Switch Assault with Raichu with Endeavor.
Do you think he'll be running a Alolan Raichu? Do you think we'll see an Alolan Raichu on stream?
Well, it's a good Pokemon. It's either pretty fast and or pretty heavy hitting in Electric or Psychic Terra. So I'm really looking forward, and I think the players are ready, and we are heading into the game in some seconds.
Yep, they haven't quite got the. We've not got the team preview screens up just yet, but we'll be heading into that any moment now. It's just loading, and I think there we go. We're about to get the teams up on screen for you any moment now. So we have got in Markus's team, we have got Gengar, Gastrodon, Celesteela, Tapu Koko, Arcanine, and Garchomp. This looks like a familiar team, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And on Simone's side, we have got Pelipper, Golduck, Tapu Koko, Mudsdale, Tapu Bulu, and Togedemaru.
Wow, this is really interesting. Again, pretty similar team. Gengar, Gastrodon, Celesteela, Tapu Koko, Arcanine, and Garchomp. I'm really looking forward to the item choices on Markus' side, and Sanvito got this nice rain mode with Tapu Bulu and Tapu Koko, Togedemaru, and Mudsdale. This is going to be pretty rough. Simone probably doesn't want to bring that rain mode because of the Gastrodon and Tapu Koko. Beside Gastrodon, though, he's pretty free to spam water type attacks. So once he gets rid of that Gastrodon,
I think the Gastrodon's going to be quite key here, because it looks like water is going to be one of the best ways that Simone has to deal with that Celesteela. And Gastrodon obviously is the best thing that Markus has to answer to the rain. So I think we can probably expect to see the Pelipper and the Gastrodon in play here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Disappointing, no Eevee though. No Eevee.
He was tricking us. Well, Simone might also run a discharge mode because of Togedemaru, Tapu Koko, and Mudsdale. Mudsdale is a very interesting Pokemon. I really love it. And we are heading into the game.
So we've got a Tapu Koko Gengar lead on Markus' side, and Simone is sending out double Beast Ball with Togedemaru and Pelipper.
This looks really interesting. Togedemaru protects the Pelipper from electric type attacks aimed at it. Gengar threatens Togedemaru maybe with a Shadow Ball. So I've seen some Gengars running Thunderbolt, but he cannot press Thunderbolt yet. That Tapu Koko cannot do that much, so I think Simone got the upper hand right here by firing off a maybe Nuzzle, even a Nuzzle into that Gengar slot to slow it down, and later on Pelipper can whistle it down maybe. So I'm really curious if Markus just stays in with the Gengar and what Tapu Koko is even doing.
Yeah, I think it's important to note with Nuzzle. So Nuzzle was something that we saw on Markus and Wolf's Worlds team. It was something that we saw on the Kanto Raichu. But at the time, Paralysis actually quartered your speed. This generation, however, it only halves your speed. I say only. Halving speed is still pretty important, but it is definitely less potent than it used to be. We had a Fake Out coming from Togedemaru onto Tapu Koko there, and a Hurricane going into Gastrodon, which would have been the Gengar slot.
Would have been the Gengar slot, and that Hurricane did a good amount of damage. And still Tapu Koko is there not being able to hit the Pelipper with Thunderbolts or any other electric attack besides maybe Discharge. And now there is a Gastrodon in. Okay, so
maybe we'll see it.
So Markus is pretty free to Discharge right now and maybe do good amount of damage to the Pelipper. Togedemaru cannot do big damage to none of the Pokemon, and here comes in Mudsdale.
So we'll see if he went for that Discharge or not. We've got Spiky Shield from Togedemaru. I'm actually impressed by how much damage that Hurricane did. Oh, but we see the Nature's Madness. Perhaps he saw that switch coming and decided to go for the play of trying to take half HP off that Togedemaru. It did protect though, Spiky Shield though, so no dice.
Yeah, that was a good play from Simone. He totally made a safe play. You can either discharge Markers, I don't care, I send in my Mudsdale, and he got the right protect or Spiky Shield with Togedemaru and is now in a pretty good situation. That Tapu Koko is fearing a lot. Gastrodon though threatens both. Rain is up, you can scald either Mudsdale or Togedemaru, you're pretty free to scald whatever you want in this situation.
I just like the way you said he can discharge if you want. I'm going to send him my Mudsdale. I don't care. Mudsdale looks like it doesn't care. It doesn't look like it cares about much, but Tapu Bulu cares about a lot of things.
Yeah.
He is here and he is serious and he is bringing that grassy terrain in. We are going to see the Nature's Madness connecting this time from Tapu Koko though. And bringing Tapu Bulu down with the Alolan Guardian's own variety of Super Fang. The Scald going into Mudsdale, not doing an awful lot of damage and activating Stamina.
Yeah, Mudsdale's defensive rise, and we see a high horsepower coming out into the Gastrodon slot. So this has been a pretty tough prediction. He thought Tapu Koko would protect instead because Tapu Koko could go down. On the other hand, the Bulu switch in plus a ground attack is kinda, well, you halve your damage from the high horsepower once you send in Tapu Bulu because of grassy terrain.
I don't believe high horsepower is one of the moves affected by grassy terrain. I believe it's Magnitude, Earthquake, and
oh, absolutely right.
Bulldozer.
I got it mixed up with Earthquake. Sorry, don't blame me, guys, too early.
It's okay. It's the ground move with the word horse in the name because it's a horse.
Yeah.
That's how we can remember this. This is our commentator tech.
I really like the choice for Markus going for Nature Madness on Tapu Koko. This is something you do not see too often. And the last time I've seen like Super Fang moves, they have been on pretty defensive Pokemon, and now we see the Dazzling Gleam.
Doing a fair bit to the other two. He does mostly have special attacks on Marcus's side, so he's not minding too much about the stamina boost, but we see a Horn Leech on Gastrodon. That is going to wipe out the Gastrodon and heal Tapu Bulu very, very tastily.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And we have a sad Gastrodon.
Markus is pretty much playing reckless here.
Reckless indeed, as that high horsepower smashes into Tapu Koko, and that is a double KO for Simone.
He either didn't have good opportunities in the back, he maybe didn't want his Pokemon in the back to take damage, or he was just hoping for Simone doubling up into one of those Pokemon. And
potentially. So we've got Gengar coming out on the field now. Gengar, as we said, now does have to watch out for that high horsepower because it will be super effective, and with the lack of Levitate, it can hit it. Garchomp could be pretty decent here. It's after Gengar, it's the fastest thing on the field.
Yeah.
So we still could see potentially the poison jab coming from Garchomp into Tapu Bulu if he's running it. We'll have to see what these players.
This may absolutely be an option. Maybe he targets the Tapu Bulu with a Poison type move coming from Garchomp and hitting that Mudsdale with a special attack coming from Gengar. Maybe even a Giga Drain or something. And here we go. We see the special attack.
Yeah, Mudsdale, of course, having a double stamina boost at this point. That's a critical hit. It's going to get another stamina boost. In the face of the special attacker, not too much of an issue. Oh, actually double targeting the Mudsdale to guarantee that that final KO. Probably, the critical hit probably did still matter, I'd say, because of all the stamina boosts.
Yeah. And we see a pretty high-powered Bloom Doom coming from a Tapu Bulu.
Bloom Doom. Garchomp is not going to enjoy this. It's going to do normal damage on it off, presumably off Horn Leech, potentially Wood Hammer, which would be the more powerful of the two. And is it? Oh, that is a one-hit knockout for Tapu Bulu on Garchomp with Bloom Doom.
Absolutely, and this is now a pretty good situation Simone is in.
It does reveal Tapu Bulu is is at least one Z crystal holder for the team.
Yeah.
It might be the only one. We don't know that bit yet. But we've got Pelipper coming back in to try and finish off this Gengar and set the rain back up. We're in London, bit of rain. It's fitting, more fitting than Sandstorm. We've not seen drought. This is why we haven't seen drought yet. It's because we're in London.
This pun. Okay.
I'm sorry.
This game is almost over for Markus.
Oh, and we see Focus Sash Pelipper here.
At least he gets out some information from that move. That Pelipper runs a Focus Sash, doing good amount of damage with that Hurricane. That confusion doesn't even matter that much.
Confusion, the cursed body, none of it really matters at this point. I think at this point the game is Simone's and we will be going into game 2. But you know, not until Tapu Bulu has gotten a fraction more health back, just to add insult to injury.
Here we see Sanvito. He doesn't look that happy because he's focused again. He didn't win anything yet beside one single game versus Markus, but everybody who plays Markus knows this says nothing.
Of course, and even generally in a best of 3 set, even though if you lose the first game, it can put you on the back foot a little bit. It might be making you worry a little bit more. Equally, the first game can just be used as an information tool.
Absolutely.
After the first game, the entire round changes because you both know so much more about each other's teams, your play styles, the items that you're running. So losing game 1 is by no means an indication of who is going to win game 2.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Especially the crit we have seen from Gengar on Pelipper just showed the Focus Sash.
Just neatly activating that Focus Sash.
And now he knows he have to double up into the Pelipper to take it out if he wants to. And again, we see the team preview. Gengar, Gastrodon, Celesteela, Tapu Koko, Arcanine, Garchomp on Markus' side, and Pelipper, Golduck, Tapu Koko, Mudsdale, sorry, Tapu Bulu and Togedemaru on Sanvi's side. And I'm really curious if they are going to adjust something. Markus probably wants to shake up things a little bit.
I imagine we'll still see Gastrodon because the only real threat to Gastrodon there was the Tapu Bulu. If you can deal with that, Gastrodon's going to have a pretty good time here. I'm not sure if we'll see the Pelipper again. I think we probably will. But as for the other Pokemon on their teams, we'll just have to wait and see what they have in store for us. We can see Markus concentrating very hard there, face down by the Eevee.
Markus probably knows that he has to take out that Bulu for Gastrodon to be safe, and he probably will bring Gastrodon as we see it next to the Gengar. And again, pretty interesting lead.
So we've got the same lead on Simone's side. We've got Drizzle going back up, so we've got a happy little Gastrodon. And we'll see what we have incoming. We're still... Togedemaru does have Fake Out, so we could still see the... Obviously, it won't affect Gengar, but we could still see Gastrodon facing a Fake Out here. On the flip side, if it goes for the Nuzzle, it won't affect Gastrodon, but it could use it on the Gengar. So Togedemaru kind of has what moves it's using... Like, it has the target decided for it, almost, assuming that there isn't a switch in this first turn.
Absolutely. Again, I think Simone got, lead-wise, the upper hand a bit. Probably they're just going a Fake Out into that Gastrodon slot. No!
He went for the Nuzzle, and as we said, it would have to be targeting the Gengar, use Protect, and we see Hurricane on Gastrodon, which, as we saw last game, did a surprising amount of damage, actually.
Absolutely.
It is 100%, it's flawless accuracy indeed in Rain as Hurricane. But still, that's from a Pokemon that no one would really have ever considered seeing on an international livestream until this point. Pelipper's pulling its weight.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an amazing Pokemon in my eyes. You can play pretty aggressively with it. Hurricane, Scald, U-turn. You can give it White Guard to help your team. You can give it Tailwind to help your team. You can give it Whirlwind to help your team. So many interesting options on Pelipper. This one is probably trained heavily in special attack, as we see from the damage dealt to Gastrodon.
We see Togedemaru switching out, and in comes Mudsdale. We'll have to see whether Gastrodon went for another water attack on Togedemaru. If it did, the Mudsdale's not going to enjoy it. Gastrodon. Oh!
And we see the critical hit taking out that Gastrodon.
And I think that was important.
Absolutely, absolutely. So Markus is not safe from water attacks if that Golduck is in the back. for Simone, then Golduck has a field day.
Golduck could be having some serious Swift Swim shenanigans on this field, but we'll have to wait and see. But that was important, because if Gastrodon had been going for another water attack into the Togedemaru slot, then Mudsdale would have just eaten it and it would not have enjoyed it at all. So poor Gastrodon not getting to have another move off. But we have Garchomp coming into the slot instead.
Oh, this puts Markus in a really tough situation. He has to target down the Pelipper if he wants to take it out, and Mudsdale is getting more defense and defense every time you hit it. So once Garchomp hits it hard, it has to even harder if it wants to do some damage. And here we see the Protect coming from the Pelipper, and Gengar aimed that Shadow Ball at the Pelipper, and...
Ooh! So we see the Z move coming in for Garchomp here. We'll have to see which type it's going to be. And it's Tectonic Rage! So we're going to see this full-powered ground-type Z attack here going into Mudsdale. Mudsdale falls down the crevices and is ploughed straight into the centre of the earth, as you do. And that does incredible damage.
This damage is huge. Mudsdale cannot even recover. It doesn't have any recovering options, and fires off an Earthquake instead, doing good amount of damage to Gengar, holding on to a Focus Sash, and good amount of damage to Garchomp. But now Markus is in a position where he can easily knock out both Pokemon.
Definitely. He has the two fastest Pokemon on the field. I think Simone will have to think very carefully at this point about whether he... Mudsdale, I don't think he's too bothered about protecting at this point, but Pelipper, if he wants to keep that rain up, if he's got Golduck in the back, that's going to be important for him. So he has to think at this point about whether he lets these two Pokemon faint or whether he protects them with this sliver of HP that they have for use later on.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I'm really looking forward to what plans Simone got, and if he even got the Golduck in the back. At least he tried to get rid of the Gastrodon as soon as possible. This implies he might have a sweeping plan in the back, but now it's Markus' turn to capitalize on the switches
and as we thought, he
doing.
Does want to protect Pelipper, but we see Togedemaru coming in. Oh, we've got a double switch, and it's Tapu Bulu in the back. So he doesn't have Golduck. We're not going to get to see Golduck Swift Swim shenanigans on stream. Instead, we have Grassy Surge going up. And we've got Shadow Ball from Gengar into the Tapu Bulu slot.
Absolutely, and we see a Dragon Claw into the Togedemaru slot, knocking it out.
Does actually have enough to knock out Togedemaru despite the resistance.
Absolutely, and now Markus is again back in a really good position. Him having the fastest Pokemon on the field, Gengar threatens the Tapu Bulu a lot, and Garchomp threatens everything.
Garchomp is Garchomp.
Simone got in the back, so Markus just have to play it down pretty safely, I guess.
So we've got the Gengar and the Mudsdale on very low HP here, so they will have to take a few turns before they get any real benefit out of this grassy terrain.
Yeah.
Tapu Bulu and Garchomp obviously will enjoy it. Pelipper will not. Pelipper gets no grassy.
Yeah.
We've got Sludge Bomb from Gengar, and it goes straight into the Tapu Bulu slot for heavy damage and picking up that KO. I don't think the critical hit mattered.
I doubt it, yeah. And we're going to see a Dragon Claw into the Mudsdale, taking it out, and now Markus is up. 3 Pokemon versus 1.
And of course, we we have not the strongest looking Pelipper in the back. I know we've been talking about how Pelipper is a bit of a force this time around, but I'm not sure that Pelipper's going to be pulling it back for Simone just this time around.
No. Gengar and Garchomp are naturally way faster than Pelipper, and as we have seen the Focus Sash, there is no way that Pelipper is running a Choice Scarf, and even if it did, there is probably no out for Simone now.
No, that would be interesting to see. Choice Scarf Pelipper. What a world we would be living in at that point. But here we go. Yeah, they've shook hands. They know this game is over. Yeah. Sludge Bomb from Gengar to pick up the final blow, and game 1 goes to Markus.
Game 2.
Game 2. Sorry. Yes, yeah. Game 2.
We are now 1-1 heading into. I guess this is what you guys out there like the most. If we are having 3 games instead of 2 quick games, that's what I enjoy most.
Yeah, definitely.
Seeing player adapt to what they have seen the first match, what they have seen the second match, and what the plans are going to be for the third match. So Markus obviously had a plan. He knew how to beat Simone's team, and Simone decided to let Golduck swim at home instead of swift swim it on the battlefield.
Definitely, and we knew when we saw these two players, we knew they were going to give us a showdown to watch.
Absolutely, that's why we picked them. And I'm really curious how they're going to play the third match now. There's something, Markus is more playing a more standardish team. That is what we have seen a lot on previous tournaments. The Celesteela, Tapu Koko, Arcanine, Guard Jump. He obviously loves Gengar. He's like really a Gengar fanboy.
It's good to see people using their favorites on stream.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I guess the Gastrodon again will be key. He just needs it to not fall down to water attacks from Sanvi.
I think this is the thing. The Gastrodon is just such, as we saw, Sanvi went straight for the Gastrodon in game 1. It is, well, he didn't bring Golduck, so I'm still a little bit surprised.
Yep.
Given that have we seen Pelipper use a water move yet?
I don't believe we have. Using a lot of hurricanes, yeah.
Just a lot of hurricanes. So, I mean, the only way in which Gastrodon would be a threat without the Golduck there is if it's benefiting itself with its own Scald attacks.
Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see if we do get Golducks swimming into battle this time round. But let's see what our highly, highly decorated and talented players have for us in this game 3 of round 4. Intense concentration. Going into the game to see, and we have Golduck. It's finally shown its little quacky face on stream, and we have Gastrodon and Gengar once again.
Absolutely. As we have seen, the Pelipper does a good amount of damage to the Gastrodon, so it makes it so that 2 Hurricanes plus maybe an Ice Beam from Golduck could take it out. The Gengar got a Focus Sash. Sanvi knows it, Markus knows it, and is pretty free to fire off one attack at least. So I'm really curious if that Gengar is running Thunderbolt in the last slot. We have seen Protect, Shadow Ball, and Sludge Bomb, I think. So it might be an option with a Tapu Koko on the team.
We'll wait and see. And here we go. Here comes Tapu Koko. Gastrodon actually switching out of this situation. Incoming Tapu Koko with Electric Surge. So potentially, maybe not the electric move on the Gengar if he's brought his Tapu Koko in to do that bit for him. Golduck actually going for the Ice Beam on Gengar rather than on Gastrodon. And Gengar hitting Pelipper with the Sludge Bomb.
Oh! And we're seeing a knockout. Simone doubled up into the Gengar and knocks Gengar out. He knew 2 Meteor Core attacks are enough to knock out the Gengar, and he didn't let Markus the ability to switch and maybe Guard Jump.
But well, potentially he saw the he might have seen the Gastrodon switch coming. Gastrodon couldn't actually do that much to Golduck and Pelipper in this situation, but I think that was a good idea because the Gengar was the big threat to the Tapu Bulu. I think it's really good for Simone that he's taken it out this early, and we'll have to see what Markus brings in to replace it, which is going to be Gastrodon again.
Gastrodon again, and that I'm really curious what Markus is running on that. Tapu Koko, we haven't seen that much.
We might be about to see a discharge here if he's brought the Gastrodon in next to it.
Yeah, I'm really curious if he got the discharge. If so, this is the turn to press it.
When you're learning VGC, I think this is a classic push the discharge button turn.
Yeah, this is a pretty common tactic. A lot of newer players use it, but I like to use it as well.
Yeah, we're going to see
Discharge plus Earthquake.
I was expecting to see Mudsdale coming in there, but we see Tapu Bulu coming in instead. And we see Grassy Surge coming in. It does mean that it covers up the electric terrain. And here we go. We've got Togedemaru is coming in as well. The Simone's whole team kind of, once you get past Golduck and Pelipper, the whole team actually reacts pretty well to electric attacks. And we see Lightning Rod there boosting Togedemaru's special attack.
We have seen a Volt Switch from the Tapu Koko. That is interesting.
That is interesting. Oh, Scald getting the burn there on Togedemaru and popping its air balloon. That was something we hadn't seen until now.
I think we have. It got popped the last game as well.
We probably did.
But
These
the
games
animation
are so exciting.
was pretty fast, so don't worry. And interesting enough is that Simone still might have had the idea that Markus could press the discharge button. That's why he switched in Tapu Bulu, a grass type, and Togedemaru with lightning rod.
The Tapu Bulu came in, brought up the grassy terrain, cover up the electric terrain, which would reduce the damage. The Togedemaru came in with its lightning rod ability to completely nullify the damage and get a boost off it. Not that Togedemaru particularly needs a special attack boost, but the nullified damage is nice.
And now with that double switches are pretty uncommon, but now Simone is in a pretty good situation. That Tapu Bulu is a real problem for Gastrodon, and the Togedemaru just redirects every electric attack from Tapu Koko, which switches out in favor of Guard Jump.
So we've got a Protect coming in from Gastrodon, presumably trying to fend off the Tapu Bulu for a little bit more time. Fake out from Togedemaru onto Garchomp, which has just switched in. And it's Rough Skin Garchomp, meaning Togedemaru takes a little bit of chip damage.
Yeah, absolutely. And we see the Haulage from Tapu Bulu in the Gastrodon slot, which obviously protected, and
Gastrodon was right to be afraid.
Yeah.
To be very afraid.
Absolutely, absolutely. And this is an interesting situation. We got the burn Togedemaru. It cannot do damage at all. It cannot sing-sap neither of Markus' Pokemon. That Bulu, well, it can take out the Gastrodon, but we have seen a lot of Poison Chap Garchomps, and I don't think we have seen every move Garchomp runs. We have seen that it got a Ground EMC to fire off high power tectonic range.
Oh, we actually see the Togedemaru switching out in favour of Pelipper, potentially saving the Togedemaru for a situation in which it's not quite such dead weight. And we see Tapu Koko switching in for Gastrodon, meaning the electric terrain goes back up. We see Protect from Tapu Bulu. Did Garchomp go for the Poison Jab? It did.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And now again we got a pretty neat situation for Markus. So if he runs Discharge, we do not know. Again, this would be a good time to press it, and that Poison Jab really scares Bulu, especially if there is some Discharge next to Chomp, so you can just chip Bulu enough to maybe take it out with the Poison Jab and Pelipper. And I really love how both players double switch the turn followed up on each other, because this is something you do not see that often, 2 double switches in a row.
Right, and that was a very tactical turn. No one actually took damage that turn, but the battlefield situation has changed so hugely. We see Pelipper switching out. Is it going to be for Golduck? So he's assuming there is not a discharge coming in here.
Again, a double switch.
And here comes little Togedemaru, and Tapu Koko goes for Nature's Madness on the Togedemaru. That is not gonna. That's not gonna help the situation very much. It might put it. It might have in previous generations put it into burn chip range, but now burn actually does only a 16th of damage to the burned Pokemon. So Togedemaru is still in this fight.
This is now an interesting situation. Rain has gone, so Golduck is probably slower than Tapu Koko and Garchomp, as is Togedemaru, is probably slower than those two as well. Togedemaru still can fake out either Koko or Garchomp, but it's now up to Markus to make the right decisions. He is down to 3 Pokemon, but I think his situation is way better than Simone's situation, because Simone has to switch, whereas Markus doesn't have to.
And here we go. So Golduck is actually going to switch straight out for Pelipper. So that means he can potentially setting the rain back up so that when Golduck does come back in, it has that speed boost from Swift Swim, and it'll actually be able to participate in this match. Here we go, Discharge from Tapu Koko.
Finally!
It does run Discharge. Only affecting Pelipper. Probably could have just tickled Pelipper and it would have fallen over there, but we have the knockout. And Garchomp coming in to knock out Togedemaru with that last little bit of damage with Dragon Claw.
finally we see the discharge. I already doubted it even runs discharge.
Well, this is the thing. It's knowing that something does run discharge means that you have to play around it, even if you're not sure if it actually has it or not.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just the threat of discharge is in itself a powerful tool in these games, for the mind games. And here we see Tapu Bulu and Golduck coming in as the final two on Simone's side.
Well, this is going to be a heavy prediction-based turn now.
Absolutely. So Golduck could come in and smash something here. It's got the Rain Up, it's got the Swift Swim. We're gonna have to see whether it can actually make its mark on this game, as opposed to just switching out all the time.
I think Markus is going to preserve the guard jump and is not going to risk the guard jump is getting ice beamed.
I think that's probably a safe shout, because the Garchomp is his answer to Tapu Bulu.
Yeah.
The Garchomp is incredibly important at this point, and here as we thought, the Garchomp switches out, in goes Gastrodon. And we actually see Encore from Golduck.
Now this was a pretty safe play by Markus. Pretty good play, and now Markus is up 3 Pokemon. They already shake 10s, if you can see it in the little pictures down below, because that Bulu is the only thing left for Simone.
And it's been paralyzed.
It's been paralyzed. We have seen that Nature Madness on Tapu Koko, bringing Bulu down
immediately to half health.
Absolutely, and in poison jab range immediately, and that's why they already shook hands.
It's a shame almost that oh, there we go, there's the Nature's Madness. It's a shame that we did actually see Golduck finally turn up, but we didn't actually get to see it do its thing. But here we go, there's Nature's Madness bringing down the Tapu Bulu to half health, but it's not out of this just yet. He's gonna use that Gastrodon's whole health to heal himself back up again. Yeah,
absolutely. And now Gastrodon faints, Bulu is at full health back again, but not for a long time.
Not for long, I think. Even without the paralysis, Bulu would be the slowest thing on the field at this point. We know the Garchomp has Poison Jab. Tapu Koko still has Nature's Madness and is almost certainly faster than Garchomp.
Yeah, this game is probably getting Markus to a record of 4-1 games and 0 losses, which is
pretty impressive going. Here we go. Nature's Madness, bringing Tapu Bulu sadly down to its half HP, and the Poison Jab from Garchomp, which should finish things off.
Yeah.
But really good play from both players.
Absolutely.
Such tactical, wonderful plays though. I think that was a masterclass in this early metagame.
Absolutely, and we see both players are still focused. This is what I like about Pokemon. If you want to make a deep run, you have to focus for a long time. And this is what takes good